Hey guys, this video is a little ranty.
Yeah.
It's not like we're yelling or anything, but we do kind of beep and boop between like subjects. I encourage you to listen to the whole thing. Please listen to the whole thing. It's Marvel Tōkon footage, so you can just kind of zone out and just listen to it. I'm not gonna have anything in the video outside of Tōkon footage. So if you can watch one match, and it's every match. So I encourage you to just listen to it while preoccupied with something else. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, it's just I just wanted to get ahead of that because I know this one gets kind of all over the place.
And if you have an opinion, if you played the beta, please leave a comment. Don't be scared to leave a comment. We want to have a discussion. We want to see how people feel about this game.
All right, so let's start the video.
What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumper. Bum to the bum to the bum to the bass. Bum to the bum to the bumper. Bum to the bum to the bum to the bass. Bum to the bum to the.
Hey TCB faithful, this is the final boosh.
And this is Madhouse.
And I usually don't like to do impressions so early into like a beta or something like that.
We got to.
But I mean, I'm so sick of this game already. It's not even funny.
We ate our shoelaces, and then we have nothing else to do.
We're in where we're at that dystopian timeline we were always talking about. I never thought it would come so soon, and I never thought it would come in the form of an Arxis game.
I thought we'd be like 50 by the time we hit this point.
Yeah, but we're here now. Like this is obviously the impressions of Marvel Tōkon fighting Souls, or Marvel Tōkon fighting Boredom, or Marvel Tōkon fighting Soulless, or however you want to call it. Look, man, I played the beta. I played a good amount of matches.
Yeah, we played before work. We played in the morning. We played when we got home from work. We took a little break. We played some more. We made our little videos about it. We played a good deal of the game. It don't take 14 hours to figure out what this game did. Honestly, objectively, it took less than 3.
This is the most soulless piece of slop I've ever seen.
So wait.
Go ahead.
We got preamble. That being said, this channel is about the sanctity of fighting games. It's about we're not FGC tubers. We're not gonna paint it some type of gray area. We're gonna tell you directly what we think, even if we're not right.
No, it's not about it not being right. It's about what I played, and I don't want to hear the bullshit like it's a beta. Wait for the game to come out. No, we know what it is.
Just a second beta.
Let's not stain our ceremony here. Let's not pretend like you don't know what it is. Why do I have to wait 6 months to get the exact same game that we got now?
And pay $80 for
differences. I'd be shocked, mind you, shocked if this game is any different at release.
This is our final review code.
You making all the same jokes you made in the
I ain't gonna see that anyway.
So I tried to like this game. I really did. I was hoping deep down. I know a couple months ago we made a video about the King of Mid, the new Queen of King of Mid. Whatever.
Yeah, that was for this game.
That was for this game.
Wow, that was a while ago.
And I was hoping on some metaphysical level
that we were like,
I was wrong.
That something was going to be added. Something was going to. I know some stuff were improved from the last beta. We haven't played the last beta, so.
I mean, then this version should be nothing to complain about if it's a better version of what came out before.
Yeah, but the thing is, you kind of can't polish a turd. I mean, you can, but it's gonna smell like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On some level, I was hoping that I was wrong. On some level, I thought it was something you could sink your teeth on, but it's nothing. This game is nothing.
I don't know what to say about it. It's like you said before, it's a combination of everything that we were worried about with fighting games, especially Arxis. Oh my God, especially Arxis, because for Arxis, we seen that slope they were going down.
Yeah,
and each of their games got dumber and dumber. It kind of started with XR, but XR was more of a
was a swan song.
XR was more of a pruning. It wasn't like
no. I think XR was a honest attempt to turn what was admittedly a convoluted fighting system into something more modern and trimmed down.
That's what I mean, the pruning. It was pruning.
I don't think it was grooming anybody for anything. I just think that when Fighters came out, Fighters kind of triggered Arxis in this direction that like, oh wait, And that's not to say Fighters was a bland game, right? Because Fighters was straddling that line.
Fighters had its own problems. Like
Fighters had its own problems.
Like too many characters played the like is like
my biggest problem with the game mechanically was Super Dash. I just thought it was a super uninteresting mechanic. Arxis kind of does this thing now. I guess most modern fighting games, they just want you to deal with mechanics.
Yeah,
they just want to they want you to deal with irritating mechanics. They want you to deal with drive. They want you to deal with heat. They want you to deal with super dash. And there's not anything like annoying per se in this game to deal with, but
it's less. Again, we keep bringing this up, but it's less my guy versus your guy and more just you fighting mechanics. It's
not even that. I feel for Tōkon. Tōkon is just there. It's not even the problem of like fighting an annoying mechanic. The game is just soulless.
How long is this beta? The whole weekend?
The whole weekend.
We don't need the whole weekend.
I don't need the whole weekend. I played this game
2 hours
for
max.
now 8-10 hours now, and I feel everything I needed to see in this game. Like
within the first 2 hours.
I don't have a drive to get better at it because the game does not give me anything to bite on. There's not anything to hang on. So I don't particularly care to get better at the game. I don't care about the graphics because I don't care about the game that I'm playing. This game literally it looks good and nothing else.
It's meant to appeal. It's not meant to be. It's meant to appeal. It's not meant to be a good fighting game.
I'm shocked. I was thrown back by what this game is.
The sheer uncaringness of this game and the sheer blasé nature of this game. It's like,
and I hate to use the word slop, but it's slop. It feels like one of those Marvel TV shows that come out, like WandaVision or some shit. It's just aimless. They feel like they didn't really have a plan. So the 4v4 aspect of the game, it's not like game changing or anything. And don't get me wrong, this isn't comparing it to Marvel. This is not a versus game. It's not a versus game. It's
a 1v1 game with assist. It's essentially Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay, let's pull back a little bit.
Technically.
Let's pull back a little bit. Okay? It's not completely negative. What do you like about the game? I know it's a shirtless. I understand. Yeah. But what do you like about the game?
Obviously the way the game looks, I think a lot of the character designs are pretty good. Like the way the game moves, it's that new Arxis type of style. You know what I mean? Like it's very stylized, right?
Yeah.
But outside of the graphics, I like Living Legend. But all seriousness, I think the game controls decently well. Like I think it does a good job. How can I say, emulating that Marvel feel while not being Marvel. Like I like how they just didn't say, let's make Marvel and call it a day. They attempted to do something
while still not alienating
too much from the formula.
So what I like about the game, and probably my biggest like about the game, is that even though it's a 4-on-4 game, you can approach it as a 1v1 fighter.
Yeah.
And you're not exactly punished for having that mindset, right? And that's good because sometimes you get fighting games like Skullgirls where Skullgirls is like you can play one guy, but your guy is supercharged, right? But Skullgirls give you like full
autonomy over like everything.
Skullgirls give you full kitted characters, and they give you the option of playing by yourself, and your character will be adjusted to fight 3 characters, presumably on their own. But it always felt like you were always at a disadvantage, and I guess you were. I mean, yeah, I guess you were. It's a handicap, but you get what I mean. Like you kind of get that pit in your stomach, where it's like maybe I should be picking more than one character.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it. It's like you don't get setups and all that stuff, right? Like there's certain like high lows unless your character inherently have them. It's like you don't get particular boons for having a team, and that works.
But you know what I mean? Like you get that. It's like you're not exactly playing meta.
Yeah.
And in this game, which I appreciate, is that you're not exactly held back. You got access to all your guys.
After a while. Yeah.
After the whole, but what I mean is, optimally, you have access to all your guys. And essentially, I played Captain America the entire time, only because I didn't feel like playing anybody else. And Captain America was a character I got used to. So I wanted to learn other characters, but we'll go into it like once we go into like how the game kind of plays. That I didn't really have any desire to learn anybody else because it was frustrating. So I didn't want to like take all this time and I didn't feel like mashing square or anything like that. So I played Captain America almost exclusively. I try to parlay into other characters, but here and there. But I stay mostly with Cap.
Ghost Rider every now and then.
And the game doesn't punish you at all for that. And I guess I can appreciate that.
It's a tag fighter for people who scared of tag fighters.
And yeah, as a guy who doesn't particularly like the tag fighter genre, I feel it's too busy, too crazy. If this game was better designed, I would love it. If this game felt more like a legitimate fighting game, if this game felt like it had more ideas other than 4v4 and good graphics,
because that's the long and short of it.
This game would be amazing if this game would be right up my alley. I would love this game because I am easily intimidated by tag fighters. They're too wacky in my opinion, and that's fine for me as a player, right? I'm not judging anybody. If you like tag games, like I said, you can't make everything for everybody, and this game is very much that, right? But
no, this game, that's the problem with this game.
It's too gray. It's too bland. It's too soulless.
It tries to be for. I'm not even gonna say this game tries to be for everybody because that's a lie.
No, it tries to be.
This game tries to be for. It masquerades as a highly competitive fighter for people like.
I don't think it masquerades as anything.
No, listen.
Street Fighter 6 parades around as a competent fighting game when it's not really. I don't think this game has that kind of intention. It's designed specifically who it's designed for. And that's okay. I'm not saying like, oh, you're bad for liking the game. I'm saying that, and I'm sorry if I talked over you. I'm sorry, but do you go ahead and want to finish your thought?
Nah, go ahead, man.
All right, okay, my fault.
This is your thing, I guess.
So I'm not saying right, Arxis is bad for doing the game sucks. Whatever. I can't help how I feel about the game.
The game's definitely.
I can't help how I feel about the game. Right? The game sucks. I'm just gonna level with you. The game fucking sucks. It's bad. It's bad. For my standard of what I find interesting about fighting games, it's bad. And saying the game...
I just think the game is generally not good. Because it's aspects of the game that is just not good.
And saying the game is for casuals, saying the game is supposed to be for simpler players to get into fighting games, that's not a good enough excuse for me.
No, we have games like that already that manage to juggle both.
We grew up with all kinds of fighting games. Your Guilty Gear, your Guilty Gear X's, your Guilty Gear Double X's, your Dragon Ball Z Budokai, specifically 3 in Infinite World. Your Naruto's, your Street Fighters, of course,
Smash.
Your Mortal Kombat. So I grew up.
We're not just play one game people.
We grew up with all these games, and some of them were more hardcore.
Mortal Ken.
Yeah, some of these games.
Kenshi. Like, so many fucking games.
And some of these games are more hardcore minded. Some of these games are more casual minded. At the end of the day, it didn't matter because, Virtua Fighter, of course, Tekken. But it didn't matter because the games were designed well. They were designed well. So you can get the best of both worlds. And I just feel like they chose a side and the game ended up just not having any kind of meaningful identity. It's a tag game, kinda.
It's a 1v1 fighter, kinda.
Well, it leans more into that area, and like I said, I respect that. But like, okay, so the core mechanic. Okay. And you see how composed I am. You see how very demure I am.
Demure.
You see this? I'm not angry anymore. I'm just sad because these are the fighting games people today
have to deal with.
And
the sad part is that I'm not gonna say it, they're too dumb to know any better.
And they don't even know.
These are the only games they know.
And they don't even know that it could be better. They don't even know that you can make a game that kind of forces you to have interest in the fighting system without even having to exclusively dumb itself down.
It's like, seriously, FGC, this your guy?
Wow.
This is your guy? This is the direction we want to go.
I don't get sentimental a whole lot, but I was playing this game in my head. I was like, this is Soulless Slop. This is just casualized for the sake of casualization. This is the end game we were talking about.
And the sad part is, I've been hearing people talk shit about like Invincible and Avatar.
Yeah.
We didn't get into the Avatar, at least not yet.
But it looks good.
But it's like,
it's made by people who clearly like the genre.
If you really think graphics is what make a fighting game, and just because it got fancy animations and fancy flourishes and slow-mo and all that shit that'll make a game good, fuck off.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this for free.
Get the fuck out.
I can tell you this for free. Avatar is 1,000 times more than what this game is.
Invincible is a million times better than
what this game is. I don't care if this game, it could be the most prettiest game in the world. The game can literally come out of the screen and one of these female characters can give me open mouth fellatio. And I'll still say Invincible looks better than your game. I don't give a fuck about how your game looks. Arxis has become a company that prides itself entirely on graphics and what made their games amazing. What made their games part of
what made their games. All right, they always been pretty good with the graphical shit.
Of course,
like with even back then with the sprites. So what made their game were graphics and gameplay, but it seemed like they just focus. I mean, why worry about making a game that's actually compelling and fun when you can just make it look good and shrink a lot of stupid people?
Like, and Arxis was a company that largely helped us get in the fighting game.
We Guilty Gear. We put so many hours into so many different.
Guilty Gear was literally our main game for a very, very long time, and we started from crap.
Even when we didn't know how to play fighting games,
but
we played Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear has such a unique flow to it, and it stood out compared to all the other games we were playing at the time, that I just had no choice but to stick with the game, and I learned through that way. And like I said, as I was playing Tōkon, I legitimately got sad.
Because what we cared about was like,
because we may complain about Street Fighter 6, we may complain about Tekken 8, all these other modern games and stuff, but don't get me wrong, I love fighting games.
Yeah. And we're just not allowed to no more.
And you don't need to be a tournament player. You don't need to be a master breakdowner of mechanics
guy
to love the genre. I don't have to be a tournament player to love the genre. And that's the whole point of like the run back and stuff is my experience, what we learned with the game, learning throughout its history and a little bit, and kind of learning the mechanics the way we experience the mechanics.
And there's so many cool fighting games out there.
And it's not like, oh, we're right all the time. It's not like it has to be, this is specifically what these mechanics need to be at a higher level. It's about, oh, okay, these mechanics are kind of neat. Look at these mechanics.
We pick a game when we go through it.
Yeah, it's not anything about it's supposed to be deppy or anything like that. These are cool mechanics. Look it out. We can be better at it, but we're still learning. But there's nothing here, and I got legitimately depressed.
So we got to run back strive, right?
Yeah.
This will be a strive.
I don't know. Outside of this video, outside of this video and that one versus the world, I don't think I'm ever talking about this game.
No, in general, I'm talking about. I'm talking about like if we had to do a strive is usually for like kind of like lesser games or more simpler,
not exactly like bad games.
Not bad games, but lesser games or more like casual, more laid back mechanics.
Yeah, like something you can't really make a 20-minute video out of.
Yeah, this game would be like a fucking 10-minute strive.
So you want to try to break
Power Quest got more than this game.
Okay, all right.
No,
so
I'm just
no, you're right. I feel as though we pontificated enough. It's been 17 minutes. Want to quickly break down the game real quick and then go into our issues with it, and we can call it a video because I don't really want to talk about this thing. I want to kind of purge it from my mind. Thank you for the beta code. Yeah. Fuck you for the game. Okay.
I'm gonna give it the paint sign hole F, which is like way better than people give it credit for, by the way.
Okay, so essentially the game is Marvel-esque, right?
Yeah.
So you have everything here. You have the assist. You have the Magic series, all this other stuff. Like it's about as close to Marvel as you can get without calling it Marvel.
It's like Marvel. All right, it's like a combination of like Dragon Ball Z Fighters, DNF Duel, and Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah. It's all those games wrapped into one. So essentially, like I said, you can play one guy. So you got 4 characters in total. Whatever order you put your characters in, that's where you put your assist. So if you put somebody in the right position, like in the front, that's your point character. And then the character beside them would be like a like a shooting assist, and then they call it like a vertical assist, and then a variable assist. And the variable assist is like shit like hitting missiles. A fireball,
something different.
Yeah, variable. A fireball assist is obviously just somebody's fireball, and a like vertical assist is like an A tier. But characters themselves have enough tools that you don't have to really use those for the most part. You like it's a weird thing. Like I said, that's what makes it interesting. But it's interesting. It doesn't make it good.
That's why during versus the world, I was saying they need to rely on making these characters weird.
I think the game would have been better if it was just a one-on-one fighter.
Yeah, but I think they should rely on making these characters
like exclusively on one-on-one
like
fighter.
super diverse. That's how you can get a lot out of them despite the simplicity of the game. You pivot more on creativity than depth. And I think that could work for it if they do it properly.
So with that being said, right, continuing on, you get a couple of system mechanics, and mind you, they all kind of blur together in my eyes, so I'll try my best to explain it, right?
Very similar to Invincible, is more of a tag focus game.
Well, no. So
What do you mean?
Invincible encourages you to rotate your characters.
No, that's not what I mean.
This game gives you the option of rotating.
That's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
What I mean is like it's more of a focus on the tagging mechanics than the character mechanics. You know what I mean?
I'm not following.
Like push block. Like, instead of having push block, which only affects your character at that moment,
You got crossover.
they got like something that like Invincible. Well, Invincible do got push block, but it's like instead of having push block, they have something that makes you tag or bring a character in.
Well,
like
you're not tagging. You're just kind of using your
You're
character.
bringing a character in.
For a cross. It's called crossover. It's like a dead angle attack. That's another one. That's on defense. You got. I don't know the name of these moves. So you have like an armored overhead attack that kind of. That once you land it, you can kind of go into an ensemble attack with your characters you have right now. You have a your delay hyper combos. You have all that stuff. It all kind of blurs together. I never bothered to learn the names
Because always something popping on screen.
It's not that they all. It's different ways to do the same thing. So you have a parry essentially where your character does a backdash while they're glowing, and that's
It's
like
really easy to land.
and that's like a get off me move. You gotta like kind of bait that out. You have the overhead smash that feels safe for some reason, and the overhead smash, like I said, brings your characters in. Like once you see the footage, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. But they all kind of blur together, so they're kind of hard to explain, and that's my problem with the game. Like there's nothing really stand out about the mechanics for a game that focuses on the rarity of a 4v4 combat system. It doesn't really come into play too much, and the system mechanics don't exactly encourage it if you don't want it to.
It's less of a 4v4 tag game and just four guys fighting your red one.
So, another thing I like about the game is that there's stages, like the core of the stages of the game is like you knock somebody off the stage to the side of a stage.
Like it's giving it a try.
You knock somebody, the wall comes back from Strive, and you knock somebody to the other side of the stage, and you get an assist. And if the guy loses the round, they get a character. So by the time you hit the final round, you have all four characters, right?
Most likely second or third round, you got all your characters.
But some stages don't focus on wall break, and that's interesting. I think that's an interesting idea. Somewhat, but you still get your characters, but you get the wall.
Yeah.
So you get the wall normally, like a Strive, like you hit them and they splat, and they kind of slide down. You get that, but you still get your character, right? So it works the same way, and that kind of what the game is constantly. When you're in these open stages, that kind of transitions between screens. It's you do a combo, you don't get the corner, but you get to push the guy to the other side of the screen, and you get your guy. And like it's constantly like stopping. The game is constantly stopping until you get all your guys, or you push the guy far enough that it's the end of the map, and then you get the wall.
Yeah, because you one of my beefs with this game, right, is that you are watching more than you're playing.
Yeah, everything's stopping. It's stopping. Like every time you call an assist and your character tags in, the game stops. Every time you use crossover, the game stops. Like every time you hit somebody through a wall, the game stops.
It's a cutscene.
Everything
Specials,
stops.
cutscene.
It stops. And
then on top of that, with the mashy nature of it, it all feel like it just blends together after a while. Everybody jumping everywhere like jackasses. Everybody popping on the screen every 15 minutes like jackasses. No one playing neutral. And if you do play neutral, it don't last that long because you either go into a mashing, you either break through the wall, go into a super, or just have people mashing on you all day.
Now, I was kind of pondering this. We're kind of all over the place. But it's your casual game, man. Like what do you want? Like,
there's not much to talk about.
You have if you approach with your brain on, you're going to get frustrated because you're fighting completely off your own brain. And if they're mashing, it's auto correcting auto combos, and they're mashing for about 30%.
Yeah, if it constantly feels like you're babysitting the other person. Is that the right term I'm using for it?
it just feels like you're tolerating them. Like it's annoying because I'm trying to, and this is why I say it. Like I didn't bother with learning other characters. Is because like I wanted to learn Ghost Rider. He's super cool. I wanted to learn him, but like I don't feel like getting mashed on trying to learn buttons because there's no training mode, and that's not the fault of the beta or anything like that. It's just there's no training mode.
I think they could have had a training mode.
They could have, but they didn't.
I think they didn't have a training mode because they knew what the game was. They know the game. The game don't require a training mode. Let's just call it what it is. If they don't expect people to learn the game, they expect people to mash around and have fun with it, cut it off, and buy the $80 game. That's what they want you to do. Because there's no reason that the game should have a training mode. They have one in the game. So
at any rate, though, I didn't want to learn another character because I got so used to Cap. Because most people I fought against just mashed buttons, and I don't feel like it's frustrating. Like I said, that's not fun.
The babysit bad
See,
players.
it's fun ideally, right? Because here's their mindset. Like people are going to be gathered around a party, and they're all mashing square, and they're mashing, and like every button is a mashable button in this game. Every button leads to a super. Or some kind of dumb shit that does a fuck ton of damage. But it's not though, because if people are trying to play this like a fighting game and they're not playing anybody of comparable skill,
it's boring.
It's boring because
it's boring in general. It's even more boring now.
You're the only one thinking. You're playing off your own brain, and then you're making mistakes because you're trying to play correctly, and they're just like go burr, and it's not a fun time.
And then the part that pissed me off about that is
that method of play is a fun time. Like, you know, those kind of games like Fighters where it's like, oh well, you want to play right, but the other guy is just mashing a button and they're getting almost as equally as amount of reward as you do.
That's the bad part about that. It's bad because the roof is like Street Fighter 6. The ceiling is so low in terms of what can you actually do to express your skill in this game that you squeezing out that extra I guess 1,000 damage or that extra damage just to be a little bit stronger than the other guy who could do exactly what you do but way more consistent and way more aggravatingly is just
it's just not fun to play. And then like you can
I don't know, man.
And then somebody can argue like, oh, but what about if two good players play the game? But even if I played somebody good, I still wasn't interesting because the core mechanics wasn't there. And it's not interesting. You want to play Strike Throw? You can play Strike Throw in any other modern game.
Go play Strike Throw in Street Fighter 6.
They're all Strike Throw games. So it doesn't matter what's bringing you to Tōkon specifically. Because, oh, well, yeah, you're fighting this guy off my brain, but I can fight this guy off somebody else's brain off in a better fighting game that has a more engaging core mechanic. Or just more engaging mechanics anyway. Like, what specifically brings you to this game other than the Marvel IP? And I guess graphics, you care about that hard enough, but I mean, there's nothing bringing you to Tōkon for Tōkon's sake. Like, I played this game for one day and I'm done with it. I have no.
And it wasn't even a whole day.
I have no aspirations of learning more.
I know the kind of man you are.
Cell, I've seen the depths of your power, and I'll give this round to you. That's what like. Fine, dude, you win. I don't want to do that. Like, this game could have been interesting, and like, and here's my idea, right? Here's my pitch, right? The game wants to concentrate on walls so much, just like with Strive, correct?
Yeah.
Why didn't they expand on that idea? Why didn't they have you're able to smash characters through multiple? Like up, maybe you can hit somebody up into the Blackbird, or maybe you're on the top of X Mansion. And
you're really complaining about you not playing the game as it is now.
No, but if you have to go that route, you can make it interesting.
No,
hold on.
All right.
So let's say you're playing Captain America. So Captain America is a solid all-around character, right? Let's say he can knock somebody down through like the X Mansion corridor. You can knock him down. You still get your character and stuff. You still knock them down, but you can knock them through different parts of the map, and different parts of the map do different things.
Yeah.
So maybe Spider-Man's good at knocking people horizontally. So maybe Captain America isn't good at popping people up and knocking them up that way, and stuff like that. So maybe Spider-Man's not good at knocking people down, like smashing them down to like a lower level. So maybe you use like a who's a strong power character in that game?
Hulk.
Yeah,
okay,
fine. So maybe you use Hulk or somebody, and he's good at smashing somebody down to the lower levels. That kind of gives characters unique things while not kind of taking away the 1v1 aspect. But you can kind of still bring a team thing. And then maybe when they're at the wall, maybe there's like certain persons. Maybe Captain America still can bounce off the wall.
For like setups and stuff.
For like maybe like, okay, his gimmick is like trick shots with a shield. But maybe if you're at, maybe when you're at a normal part of the level, when you're like at that middle point where you can go either or with the walls,
he got to play more neutral there.
Maybe he has to play more neutral. Maybe he can't zone as hard with his fireball because he needs walls to bounce off of. So maybe that gives him a stage advantage when he's at a wall, and that gives you incentive to build a team that pushes somebody towards the left or the right instead of up and down.
And keep them there.
So
maybe Storm had all these powerful projectiles, but his ties like a meter.
Maybe no, it's not even that. Maybe Storm needs to be more higher in the level to do more stuff with our weapons.
So you still talk about just positioning?
Yes, this is what they're focusing on. So I'm not talking about adding character gimmicks, but making the environment part of the game. You understand what I mean? That gives the game still gets to keep its simple nature, but you're adding some kind of texture to it to make it like a meta game or something that you can sink your teeth into. Instead of just bland, here's my combo. Every combo you do, everybody gets the same horizontal assist. Okay, combo pop up, combo pop up, combo pop up, super. Every 40 seconds, it gives you something to consider. This is what I was talking about with like Invincible.
You're always considering stuff.
Say whatever you want about the game being ugly or something like that, but you're constantly thinking. You constantly cannot drop your guard, because if you drop your guard, that's free damage the opponent can get, where you can stop their momentum if you guess right. And it's constantly something you can't drop your guard on. It gives you something to worry about outside of blandly trying to block string somebody into a 50-50, or trying to tick throw somebody to death, or
unblockables.
And like maybe like Ghost Rider can just be good at zoning. So maybe he's not good at anything. Maybe he's just good at locking somebody in a location. It's all here, and I think you can still keep the 4v4, you can still keep the simple nature, but you can give players some kind of tactile interaction that can think beyond spamming boring fucking combos, because combos are boring when they're easy to do. And that's my thought. That was kind of my thought process with the game. I don't think it's a very difficult thought process to have. I think this is a very natural conclusion to come from.
This is a very off the cuff review.
I know, but this is a review too, because I'm not buying this fucking game. I think this is a very simple idea, and it makes it a unique fighting game while not getting rid of essentially what is Tōkon.
And mind you, this is not no atom bomb versus hydrogen bomb versus coffee baby situation. Think about it. This is Arx's making fighting games for years. Invincible versus the KI team made a fantastic fucking version of the KI.
I already told you, I'm not the most giant fan of KI3, but I consider KI3 a modern masterpiece.
I know, but what I'm trying to get across is that these are juggernauts. We got Arx's making fighting game for years. We got Invincible versus the KI team, and we got Avatar, which would make villains fighting herds and schoolgirls. All these people know what they're doing.
And you can say, yeah, Arx's isn't the same people, and I agree with you. But I mean, it's still
Arx's.
But you see that idea I just came up with? That's a fun idea that kind of makes Tōkon stand out. Other than just being a bland kind of tag game, kind of not.
Kind of like it's lesser Marvel.
So this is what I'm saying. Tōkon's biggest problem that it doesn't have identity outside of visuals.
And it's soulless.
It's soulless. It's babyfied food. It's fucking the Google Gaga thumb drive. It's fucking Zygote versus. It's nothing. And if you like it, fine. But just because you like Slop does not mean everybody else is wrong. Just because a game can be played by top players does not mean your game has depth.
Yeah. Every game has
Any
that.
game can be played by top players. That doesn't make your game good. It just means that, yes, you can take any kind of fighting game because it's the genre, and people are naturally going to be good at it, which I always say, make a fighting game that players will find interesting before casuals. people who can potentially get attached to the genre, and are people who already used to fighting games. Because it doesn't matter how babyfied you make your games, they are going to leave.
Well, like
Tōkon,
that's not what they do now. What they do now is they make overly simplified games. They try to catch as much casuals as possible and rely on FGC tubers and rely on YouTubers in general to show off for their product. And DLC. It's all disingenuous.
Can I make a bold guess?
What?
Can I make a bold guess? Tōkon's already getting turned on, right? I think everybody now knows Tōkon's a piece of shit. This is gonna have 400 players. I usually don't do Steam charting because that's fucking cringe, but for this, I think it's appropriate. I think this game, the casuals are going to leave because they're going to be bored after so many matches.
Yeah, because it's a shiny thing syndrome. The game don't have any meat to it, so it's just a shiny plaything until the next shiny plaything come out. And that's the thing with casuals. Here's the thing that we keep saying about casuals: they are fleeting. They are fleeting. They are not going to consistently play your game. We are. That's what we keep saying. Design a game for people like us. So and then if you have a good game, backing you going in when the competitive players and stuff be like, this is cool, and that's how you get the casuals. That's how it used to work back in the day. But now you just got shiny product, and then once the next shiny product come out, well, there you go. Why are numbers failing?
And like it's like I said, it's
the player base's fault that the game failed. No, like, it's your fault.
It's sad that games like this, games like Street Fighter 6, games like Tekken 8,
somewhat MK1
specifically too. It's a shame games like these make millions. Because Invincible Versus is a genuinely good game with a lot of heart put into it.
And it looked like Avatar is just
and Avatar looked like and just because those games don't have the same overblown budgets for their graphics, that they get ignored. City of the Wolves admittedly did a lot wrong, especially with his rostering and with some of his choices with the roster members. Shit. I'm not denying that. But the game has heart. There's heart. There's soul to the game. I can't say there's soul in Street Fighter 6. You can tell through the AI music that game doesn't have soul. Tekken 8 does not have a soul. MK1 kinda has a soul,
but it got drawn back by like WB and NetherRealm's incompetence, and it's like
MK1 has a soul, but it's by bad masters. It has bad masters, and like. All these games theoretically should not succeed. And back in the day, these games wouldn't. But they get by shilling. They get by disingenuousness.
And name brand.
They get by name branding. And that's always been the thing. I'm not saying anything's new here. And this game is going to be massively successful, and the genre I know is dead. And you know what? It's sad for me to say that, but I guess I'm fine with it now. I've seen this. It can always get worse from Tōkon. But Tōkon gives me a pretty good blueprint of what the future of fighting games is.
At least for artists.
And you know what? I'm done. Like it's I don't care if people say, "Oh, I don't care what you think." That's not about you. This is my channel, bitch. Move.
Go somewhere else.
All I'm saying is, I'm done with it, man. I'll keep my ear out for the avatars and the Invincible Versus, and I'll ride for those games. You don't have to be like going making tournaments or anything like that. Me making content on the games I like shows enough about what I love. And you know what? I wasn't particularly fair to City of the Wolves.
What you mean?
I don't think I covered it enough for the channel. I don't think I covered it enough. I let some very superficial hangups stop me from playing that game. And I was being retarded. I'm being dumb. Because now I think I let the state of fighting games kind of corral how I feel about City of the Wolves. I like the game. I think the combo system, I think it plays a little too close to the Street Fighter 6. But you know,
but we always called it just better Street Fighter 6.
It is better Street Fighter 6. But I think I was particularly unfair because I think the combo system is kind of repetitive. But you know what? I know what repetitive is now. I've been kind of hard on City of the Wolves, so I think that may make a return on the channel, and I don't care who watches it. And it could be 5 people. It could be 5 people watching it for 10 minutes. I don't particularly care. You know, I'm gonna try to bring that back. I'm gonna try to cover shit I like because Tōkon really showed me that
it left a horrible taste in our mouth.
We might as well get used to the shit.
See how low energy we sound?
you might as well get used to the shit that you grew up with or you find comfortable, because it ain't getting any better from here. It's not getting any better. You, like I said, Invincible and Avatar are outliers. They're outliers in the situation.
Street Fighter, dead.
I'm not saying
Tekken, dead. Mortal Kombat just got acquired by Netflix.
So that's up in the air.
That's up in the air. MK1 is not a super horrible game. I do not care what you think. It had its problems. It had its hang-ups. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think it's the best game out the bunch.
I mean, as far as like expression goes, it's solid. It's not as good because you get things like Pharah, Homelander, and shit like that.
But meta, like Street Fighter 6 got his meta, Tekken 8 got his meta.
I know.
Marvel got his meta, so Tōkon gonna have his meta.
It's particularly bad stuff that should have been addressed a while ago.
Agree. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
And it's frustratingly like not addressed, and that's the problem. Just like what like some of the issues with MK1 could have been 10 times a better game by now, and it's about like 80%. I think okay, but it could have been like 95% if they would just get their head out their ass and address what people were complaining about. Same thing with 11. If they would have legitimately addressed what held 11 back, it could have been a better game for it.
I like how we talking about Mortal Kombat in the Tōkon video.
Well, I mean, Tōkon doesn't have any identity, so we have to give it identity through other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna learn to appreciate the shit that I grew up with. I'm gonna learn
Sailor Moon.
I'm gonna learn to appreciate the things that do come out and they give a damn about the genre. Because if you're looking forward to a future Street Fighter, if you're looking forward for any future Arx's work, especially under the Guilty Gear branding, even though Guilty Gear isn't like horrible, Strive is bad, but it's not horrible. Nothing I will play, but it's still not particularly good. If you're looking forward for the future of MK, especially nowadays, I don't know where MK is going to be. I don't think there's anything for you here. I don't think there's any. And speaking of anything for you here, I don't think there's anything for you for Tōkon.
No.
If you like the genre, do yourself a favor and play something that's more meaningful, because this is the living definition of slop, and that's all I got to say about it. I know I've been all over the place, but I mean, this game sucks. If you want the long and short of it, this game sucks. You don't have to listen to the whole video. What's it been, 30 minutes, 40 minutes? You don't gotta listen to the whole video. I've been kind of ranting. I just had to get my frustrations out, and yeah, this is the dark timeline. We got a taste of what the future of fighting games is. And if you're happy with that, if you want a show for that, fuck you.
All of you. Because y'all part of the problem.
Because my opinion is, what are you shilling for? There's nothing to shill here. If there was anything, any inkling of a soul in this game, I'd be like, okay, I kind of get what you're shilling for. When people were shilling for Street Fighter 6, I may think that game is ass, but I guess I can see an appeal. I can see an appeal for Tekken 8, even though I don't particularly like these games. There's nothing here for you on Tōkon. So every time you hear somebody, it better be somebody who's never touched a fighting game in their life. I better not hear shit coming from these people who play fighting.
If any competent player is champion for this game, you know they lying for their teeth.
Because I don't see what brings anyone to this game. I don't see what brings anyone to this game who has any experience of fighting games. Once again, outside of money.
That's just like Street Fighter 6.
Just like Street Fighter 6, just like Tekken 8, the only way they can get anybody to play their game genuinely, and there might be people who like it, fine. But I think there's not. I think if there was an option to get something better and pay equal amount of money for it, for tournaments, they will play that instead.
I guarantee you people will play Tekken 5. If it was
I guarantee if there was $10 billion attached to any other Tekken game that's not 8, or I guess Tekken 6 or Tag 2, they will play that game. If Tekken 3 had the same amount of prize pool that Tekken 8 has, nobody would touch 8. If Street Fighter 4 had the same prize pool of a Street Fighter 6, probably nobody would touch 6. And Tōkon, the only reason why anybody would show for this game, the only reason who has any experience behind fighting games, the only reason is because
they get something out.
It's money. There's money
swag, what do they call it? Betas. You get the early copies. Fuck, I don't care about getting all that shit.
But yeah,
I just wait for my game to come out like everybody else.
But yeah, we cut it here. The future of fighting games looks bleak, and this is leading the charge. We'll see you next time.
See you.
sweaty. Alright.